didn't know I had such an interesting introduction. But like you said, I'm David Winston, and I have such a blessed life. I'm so far beyond blessed, and everything that I have, what my parents have done for me, the abilities that God has given me, I'm blessed in so many ways. Uncountable, unfathomable ways. You know, we're sitting up here and we're talking about giving water fountains or just water to these people down in this country that's the third least developed country in the world, and we take for granted so much. I started off my blessed life in the thriving metropolis of Houston, Texas, and it was great. You know, I went to this great school, tiny private school, well, relatively tiny. It had 80 kids in the class, and that was cool. You know, Second Baptist, it was awesome. And like Brett said, my parents had me in the Bible from a very young age. You know, I was the kid. You know, I went Wednesdays, I went Sundays, and I did the Christmas play. You know, I mean, it was great. It was cool. You know, I'm the kid that's, you know, sitting back there. Who's the oldest person in the Bible? Oh, Methuselah. I got that one. I got that one. You know, I mean, I knew all the facts, and it was cool. It was great. So that's the life that I was born into. And I always had Christ with me. You know, I thought I knew Christ. I know Christ. I mean, I know all the facts. You know, someone pulls out, you know, how many people did Moses take on the ark? Moses didn't take the ark. That was Noah. Gotcha, play. You know, I mean, I thought I knew Christ because I could answer the facts. You know, and that seemed really cool. So anyway, so we move, and we come from Houston to Bernie. And that was between my 3rd and 4th grade year. And it was a great move. You know, I love Bernie. I got to move out of Houston. You know, it's so busy. I love Houston, but I got to move out of Houston. And I don't think the timing could have been better, the way that God did it, because I had my friends in Houston. And we were able to have that tight bond. We were able to have a close friendship. And we were able to build upon that and build upon Christ. And that's great. But I was also able to move here and create friendships here. And it wasn't the awkward stage. You know, I didn't move like before my senior year of high school where it's like, have to shove myself in somewhere. It was between 3rd and 4th grade, so it was easy. And I got to meet a bunch of people. So it was great. I started coming to Oak Hills. You know, Joel Busby's the youth minister, and he's awesome. I love Joel to death. Joel's great. And you know, then Brett comes, and Brett's even better. And I love Brett. And you know, the way that we bonded, like he said, was just phenomenal. And so, and I also started going to camp at Kanakuk. And Kanakuk probably did more to change me than anything else. Because I'm a person that's big time into actions speak louder than words. I'm big into that. You know, I can get up here and I love talking to y'all, but I'm so much more into actions speak louder than words. And that's what camp's about. I don't know if it's sort of something that was subconscious for me, but my faith, it was sort of like a, not that you can't have fun because you're a Christian, but it was sort of like, well, I shouldn't do that because I'm a Christian, you know. Maybe if I have too much fun, God would be like, no, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that, David. You might have too much fun. So, but at camp, I go to camp and I see these counselors and these guys that are just on fire for Christ. And you know, we talk about coming to, you know, D Now and Winter Retreat. You know, we feel like, oh, I'm on fire for this weekend. But they were constantly, incessantly on fire for Christ. And the way they lived it, the way they talked about it, the actions, everything that they did, nonstop, all day, every day. And I went for a month. I mean, that's a long time. And the whole time they were psyched to love Jesus. And they were psyched to do that. And that's where my faith became more tangible, and I started to do that. So that started happening for me there. And then I come back, you know, and I do the D Nows and the Winter Retreats, and I feel like I'm on fire for Christ, and I feel like I have Christ in me. And maybe I do, maybe I have Christ. And you know, then we hear about, you know, then I start thinking about, I get a little older, and I think about, you know, Acts 2:38, where Peter says, you know, repent and be baptized, and you will receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. Where I think about, you know, 1 Corinthians 2:10, God has revealed himself to us by his Spirit. So I start thinking, well, you know, I don't know if I feel his Spirit for sure. Do I have his Spirit in me? I mean, I've accepted him. You know, that little tent, Vacation Bible School in Houston, I accepted him. You know, I said, Jesus, come into my heart. But was it really the tangible faith that I wanted? Because I see Brett, and I see Lindsay, and I see all these leaders, and all these people from camp, and they're living it out all the time. And I don't think I have that. And the one thing that's happened to me throughout all of this, that I've come to realize today, is that I have to trust that he's going to make himself available to me. You know, we think about the verse where God says, I stand at the door and knock. And I know that God's standing at the door and knocking. And I know that I have to chase after him. I know that I have to go get him. I know. And it's effort on my end. I know that. But I think just the way that he's manifested himself, maybe it's taking a little longer. And I have to trust it. I can't throw myself away. I can't say, I just get to do whatever I want because, I've tried to accept Christ. I've tried to do it. I can throw myself away, though, because he's not apparent to me. He's not this tangible God that I want. I can throw myself away until he comes. Because, we hear so many stories about people that have gone through such hardships. All kinds of counselors at camp, they talk about going through such hardships, and then it clicks one day. It clicks. And they have Jesus. And then they see, I went through so many hard times, but now I have Jesus because he helped me through it. And I don't have that story. That's not me. And I need to keep myself and focus on the fact that until he manifests himself in that way, I have to trust that he's going to do so. Because I've seen it done in so many of my other friends. Because I see it in Brett when I talk to him. I see it in his face. I see it in his eyes. I see it in the way that he treats y'all. I see it in the way that he treats so many others, and I see it in so many other people as well. I also have to trust in him. Because everything that I've done has been so fleeting. And I have had so much success in my life. It is insane. I've had so much success. I'm so blessed, like I've been talking about. This year, our senior year, I started off the year by playing football and running cross country. First year of varsity football, we make the playoffs. I got second team all-state. And that's cool, right? So then we go to cross country, and we're running cross country. And this is maybe the second year we've run varsity cross country. And we really actually had a team this year. And we ran, and I got 11th in state for running state cross country, and that was cool. That's cool. And then for basketball, we won the state championship for basketball. I mean, how crazy is that? My senior year, I get to walk out of high school winning a state championship. That's pretty cool, right? So I walk out of high school with that state championship. Now I'm doing baseball and running track, and I think we have a decent potential. We could make the playoffs in baseball for our first varsity year, and for track, we could do very well at state. All these blessings that I have. College. I've gotten into the colleges that I wanted to go to. I mean, that's such a blessing in itself, and I'm so blessed. But something that hits me all the time is that I have to trust God and realize that what he has for me is worth so much more than this because this is so fleeting. Everything that's here, everything that's tangible, everything that's around, that even the successes, whether you have them or you don't, they're fleeting. Me, I have them. I've been so blessed by God. He looks down upon me and smiles, and I've been blessed with all of this. But it's so fleeting. And I think that's what he's trying to teach me. That though I have received all of this, though I have had all these blessings in so many different forms and fashions, it's fleeting. And it's not until I realize that I have to open the door, that I have to chase after him and live after him all day long, every day, like those counselors, like Brett, like Lindsay, like all these other people that I look up to so highly. And I have to say, I want that. And I want to hold on to that more tightly than I've ever held on to anything in my life. I want that to be my testimony. I want that to be my testimony of God's strength. That, I started off in Houston, class of 80, moved to Bernie, graduated with a class of 19. 19. It's so small. I'm graduating with a class of 19, and it's great. But I want to be able to hold on to things more than that, more than, oh, my high school years were great. More than, before that, my successes in athletics were great. My successes in academia were fantastic. I want to be able to hold on to Christ more tightly than any of that. And I have to trust him that he's going to manifest himself in a way that is more real than anything else I've ever experienced. Because of what I see in others and because of my successes. That's my testimony. Thank you.